The 1980s Bills' success was predicated on their strong defense, which was third in the NFL in points allowed and first in yards allowed. Heading into Week 1, the Bills had not beaten the Dolphins during the entire decade of the 1970s. 20 straight losses, the longest such streak in NFL history. But the Bills had a new look in 1980, a high-pressure defensive scheme. Here, safety Jeff Nixon and linebacker Jim Haslett blitzed, which caused Dolphins' future Hall of Fame quarterback Bob Greasy to misfire. Charles Romes broke up the potential touchdown pass to Duriel Harris. Joe Ferguson threw 5 interceptions on the day, but number 48, Roosevelt Leaks, caught this touchdown pass. This was the last one of his 9-year NFL career. The spell was broken and the Bills won 17-7. In typical head coach Chuck Knox fashion, his team started out hot. The Bills won their first 5 games and outscored their opponents 122-74. Chuck Knox was the Rams head coach from 1973 through 1977, and in 1980 he was in his 3rd year as the Bills head coach. His 22-year NFL head coaching record is 186 wins, 147 losses, and 1 tie. His coaching philosophy was known as Ground Chuck, due to his penchant for running the ball and playing airtight defense. In 1980, the Bills were 2nd in the NFL in rushing attempts. In Week 2, Jeff Nixon picked off his 4th pass of the young season and returned it 50 yards for a touchdown. He would only intercept 1 more pass through the end of the 1982 season, his last in the NFL. Running back Joe Cribbs was the Bills' 2nd-round draft pick from Auburn, where his backfield mates were future NFL stars William Andrews and James Brooks. He got out of the gate fast. Reuben Gant was a tight end for the Bills for all 7 of his NFL years. Here he turns a rare tight end screen pass into a 48-yard gain. Joe Ferguson was the Bills' starting quarterback from 1973 through 1984. He held the NFL record for most consecutive starts at quarterback, along with Ron Jaworski, with 107. He also succeeded Terry Bradshaw at quarterback for Woodlawn High School in Shreveport, Louisiana. 1980 was the first year that he was allowed to call his own plays. Here's a replay of that touchdown. Ferguson felt the blitz from the linebacker and was just able to get rid of the ball in time to wide receiver Frank Lewis, who had a big game. Frank Lewis was traded from the Steelers for tight end Paul Seymour on August 15, 1978. He would play 6 years with the Bills and make the Pro Bowl for the 1981 season. Bills traded an 8th-round pick in the 1981 draft for Conrad Dobler. He was a 5th-round pick in 1972 out of Wyoming and was such a pleasant young man. But something changed when he played pro ball. He became Dirty Dobler. He started all 16 games for the Bills in 1980. Buffalo's first-round draft pick in 1980 was center Jim Richer from North Carolina State. Although he didn't start any games in 1980, he had a terrific career with the Bills. Bill's bread and butter rushing play all year long was the sweep. Roosevelt Leake's 5'10", 225-pound frame was excellent for blocking as he excelled on this touchdown run. Joe Cribbs lost 3 fumbles, resulting in 3 Dolphins scores. Don Besselou returned this one for 6 points. And the Dolphins turned the tables on the Bills and avenged their earlier loss by winning 17-14. Free safety Bill Simpson was a 1974 second-round draft pick by the Rams out of Michigan State. He played 5 years for the Rams before being traded to the Bills in 1979, but the trade was voided because he failed the physical examination. So he retired and didn't play in 1979. I guess he took his vitamins, ate well, and exercised, because the Rams traded him to the Bills again in 1980, and this time he stuck with the Bills and started 36 games for them in 3 years. Guard Reggie McKenzie was a mainstay on Buffalo's Electric Company offense during O.J. Simpson's heyday. He started 147 games in 11 years with the Bills and made first-team All-Pro once and second-team All-Pro twice. The Bills' Bermuda Triangle defense was anchored by nose tackle Fred Smerlas. He's very underappreciated in my opinion, even though he's a member of the Bills' 25th and 50th anniversary all-time teams. Linebacker Isaiah Robertson has Hall of Fame credentials. After a terrific stay in L.A., he was traded to Buffalo in 1979 and then signed a 4-year, $920,000 contract, one of the highest for an NFL linebacker at the time. He never made a Pro Bowl or All-Pro team while with the Bills, though. Wide receiver Jerry Butler was the 5th overall selection in the 1979 draft out of Clemson. He made his only Pro Bowl team in 1980 with a career-best 57 catches, and he played 7 years with the Bills. One player who deserves special notice is running back Terry Miller. Although he only had 12 carries for 35 yards in 1980 and was primarily a kickoff returner, this was his last year as a Bill. In 1977 at Oklahoma State, he was second to Earl Campbell in the Heisman Trophy balloting. He rushed for 1,060 yards as a rookie when he was the 5th overall draft pick. In 1979, he shared the bulk of the carries with Curtis Brown and finished second on the team in rushing with 484 yards. Nick Mickemeyer was signed as a free agent after being released by the Eagles during the 1979 training camp. He was 21st in the NFL in field goal percentage and only scored 76 points. His brother Steve kicked for the Colts in 1980, which is the last year of his 6-year NFL career. Greg Cater was the Bills punter, a 10th round 1980 draft pick. His 38.7 yards per punt was 25th best in the NFL, and his net yards per punt was 29th best. Somehow, he stayed their punter through 1983, even though his 39.2 career yards per punt with them was definitely nothing special. Joe Ferguson sprained his left ankle 6 minutes into the game, and David Humm took over, but only completed 4 of 14 passes for 39 yards and an interception. Bills quarterbacks were sacked 8 times and only generated 8 first downs and 154 total yards of offense. Defensive end Ben Williams was the first African American to play a football game for Ole Miss. He played well for the Bills from 1976 through 1985, as he had 3 10-sack seasons and 52 overall. 5 seconds remaining in the game. Joe Montana heaved a Hail Mary pass, down 18-13. The Bills ended the regular season with an 11-win, 5-loss mark and an AFC Central Division Championship, their first since 1966. On to San Diego for a playoff tilt with the Chargers' high-powered Air Coryell offense.